Hey, it's Bebop. I want you to take a look at the recruitment chat right here. I've never done this before. Went looking for a good squad and for an M3 Forge. Need a tank, healer, and all that jazz. Paying 5K per person gold if we end up getting a good run and getting gold. Ladies and gentlemen, I basically had to go out there and beg. And real quick, I like seeing this DPS guy right here take this archer on. This is what you should do running this. Let the tank, aggro the other guy away. Take out that archer so he's not picking off the healer here around the corner. And then attack these other two archers. But real quick, I want to go back. The public lobbies were so terrible this week for Forge. I mean, if you're running an M3, you should not be trying to set the dials before you fight the big lightning swordsman guy. I can't even think of the name, so maybe I'm the freaking rookie here. I get it. But when you're trying to set dials over and over, and I'm telling you we have to go up top, talk to the dude, press the button, then go down, and you still don't listen, I gotta unstuck and get the I gotta get out of there respectfully. But yeah, it was tough this week. Now, I did have two good groups and a tank that was also learning. It was very cool. Let me suggest things without getting offended. Actually, a lot this week I was able to recommend things without people getting offended. Even here in this run, there was a guy that signed up in medium DPS gear, 100 con, a hatchet, and a great axe. Well, the hatchet and the great axe I don't mind. We already had another hatchet, so didn't really prefer it either. But I said, dude, medium gear and 100 con, I can't allow it. You're not going to be hitting for much. And instead of being offended and, F you don't know what you're talking about, he messaged me back, hey, man, I just moved it down to 36 con, and how about now? And I said, well, when we get in the dungeon, you'll probably go back to 100 con, right? He said, no, I promise I'm a man of integrity. So I took him at his word. Hopefully he stuck to it. He seemed to do just fine. So maybe I should learn something from, who knows, but I thought that was really cool. So, and running it, different tanks I came across or healers, I would try to, give out some information. I don't know everything, but man, I really enjoy helping people in this game now. So that's kind of what I think the best part of this game is now for me, because I've run a lot of these, M3s a lot of times. So I still enjoy them, but I enjoy helping people more. All right, let me shut up a little bit. Let's talk about the dungeon here. So as you can see, don't face in front of the enemy, because that's not a good thing. But I am running the spear in this, usually running the greatsword. I was wanting to try to hit 20k on the greatsword this week, couldn't get there. And maybe next time I hit 17,900 something, but maybe next time I'll get a tank that has leadership abilities and not the shield on the ground around them, but it's all good. All right, what are we doing here? Okay, these guys are running a little wild, so I kind of wanted to just, hey, group up. If y'all want to do your own thing, you do it over there together. I knew they were going to be coming for me, so you got to be ready. Kind of getting a little bit lucky. I'm stuck here. I thought for sure I was going down, and ended up getting a little bit lucky. I was trying to rotate around, but couldn't really get moving. Forge is probably, it can be easy, but it also is one of the hardest dungeons in the game. What makes it that way is the pulls are a little bit weird, and every tank seems to do it a little bit differently, so you got to kind of see where they're pulling and don't hit until you get there. Also, the lightning guy and the blunderbuss guy. Oh, Ray Lewis down the middle, baby. Woo. Both of us got knocked. That's old school football right there, baby. Did not know they were coming. Then again, I should have been paying more attention, but I was kind of focused on the guy being stuck in the corner, thinking, should I get out with my great axe and try to reap him out? No, boom, Ray Lewis in the middle. So going after these guys is a little bit split here. Not really sure what to do, but I do know, hey, archers are annoying, especially for the healer. Let me go try to get this guy. You shouldn't die to a lone archer as DPS with a spear. You should be getting your cooldowns quite often, or run away like I did, just kind of rotate in and out. But you got to get these spear guys down and help the healer. I've healed before plenty of times, and when the DPS don't pay attention to that, I just want to lose my stuff. And then I start sounding like an a-hole in the chat. Like, can you please get on the archers? Every dungeon, DPS, archers first, then the mob. The tank will be just fine with his sacred and aggro and the mobs, and let him build up even more threat. Think of it that way. You need to go after the archers. Your job, protect the healer first, then the mobs. Same thing here. Now, would this guy eventually come around the corner? Yes, absolutely he will. Would he lag behind some, maybe hit the healer or something? Yeah, I mean, the healer would be able to out dodge him for a bit, but might as well just take him out. If you got a tank that takes this group all the way up, you're gonna be like, holy crap, that's a lot of enemies. But a lot of these enemies lag behind, so if you got good DPS, you can actually take out the group up top first by the ball, and then work your way back. So the tank wouldn't know that. He would basically come up there, try to aggro and separate the mob from the healer at the back right, and that way the DPS can freely go to the healer without worrying about getting shielded, you know, shield rushed in their back. And then he would rotate as the healer was almost dead, knowing the DPSs are going to come to the mobs. He would rotate up front of like basically where you came in, and that's how that flow should go. So if you see a tank take that whole group before this and bring it up here, just know that rotation's gonna come, so be ready. This next group, you definitely want to take out the 3 before you go into where the lightning guy is. There was a tank the other day that took these 3 into the next group, and with the silence on the big guy, it was just a nightmare. You don't want to do that. He learned from his mistake. The next run didn't happen, went great. So just make sure you kill these 3. And then on the lightning guy, the next part, it's really good if you can pull the 3 mages without pulling the knightsman, so that way you can take them out a lot easier. We kind of get a break here being that it's an ice dungeon, because these mages, you know, throw ice down, and so at least you have some protection. But right here, the tank would take the big guy, and the DPS and the healer would throw sacred down on the DPS fighting the 3 mages, and the tank would take the lightning guy and separate them out and pull them back. So right there, we did a great job grouping them up, trying to melt them down. And we got very lucky on the pull that the lightning guy did not come. I gotta figure out the guy's name. Can I keep calling on the lightning guy? So we definitely got a break there. Now, I still would say pull this guy out. If we all go in there and someone rolls too high up near the stairs and pulls down those extra mobs, well, I think there's 2 archers up there. It's just, you don't need those problems with this guy. This guy's a problem enough. Just so is seeing through this ice storm, I swear. Someone woke him up right there. You got to be cautious when you see the stamina bar getting low and you have an ability like a slam with the hammer, or, you know, a shield rush or a leap. You don't want to wake this guy up when he's down. Just try to DPS heavy on him. Now the tank's mic was really low right there, but what he said was, I'm going to pull all these guys around the corner. That means don't hit them. We're going around the corner. Don't try to throw a gravity well, nothing like that. Really, the beacon shouldn't have been thrown there either, because if somebody gets hit in that, a lot of the aggro can go to the healer and those guys stay back. But a little bit spread out here, but we have 2 great axes, so we should be able to get them together. The person getting the gatherables that are the mining should always be the people that have the 300 strength that can, you know, have an ability to one-shot them. Shouldn't be somebody with 350 dex, because you don't have the chance to one-shot. Not that it's going to happen every time for the people with the strength perk, but, you know, that should be the one getting all the minables. I'm used to having that with the great sword, so, you know, that's why I was doing it. Really wasn't thinking. 2 ways of doing this here. You can say square XX, or you can say 022. Basically how many turns it takes on the dials to get to the correct coding. Square being 0, circle being 1, X being 2, and D being 3. Always put a lost ward pot on here. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can make it through just fine, but just make life a lot easier. Infused lost ward pot and infused lost ward coating on my main DPS weapon, which is the spear. And that way you can do more damage and have more survivability, because these guys do hit hard. That fire burns, man, and you know, it's lost damage. I mean, it's also fire damage, so I mean, you're not gonna have any resistance to that right now, but the lost ghost just swinging away like this and he backs up a lot, it's gonna hurt. So nice to have that resistance. And I had trouble getting through. I kept trying to roll through right there, but I couldn't get there. So got to get to the back, and at the end of his health, when he's about 10% left, he's gonna flip away from you. So either roll behind him and keep hitting him to get the criticals, or maybe you have enough DPS, hopefully with Oblivion down, where you can, you know, get rid of him so he doesn't blow up on you. Now the tank should have brought the first ghost up the stairs and around the corner, so that way when these two spawn, you don't get what just happened there with them coming down. And you can just basically fry everything up top real quickly, and you don't have a little bit of craziness going on that might cause somebody to get knocked. But we ended up managing. Ooh, that was close. Now up here, they did make some changes to the shortcut. I swear they did, because I did it fine the first 2 or 3 times when I got in here this week, and then next thing you know, I just kept screwing up and getting killed doing the shortcut to the right. This run, I'm like, hey, I want to go, bro. I'm going the long way, because I had nothing but trouble this week with Relentless Rush trying to get to the other side. I kept getting killed because it's like you have to have the perfect angle, and if it's not right, you're gonna get killed, which I think one guy did. So it's a little bit more difficult, but if you have the sword leap, super easy. If you have the skewer, I bet you it's probably just as easy as the leap, but something about that Relentless Rush, it was just, man, I guess it got into my head after they're, you know, getting it 3 times then dying a few times. So I'm like, I'm not gonna cost this run, no way. Plus, I knew nobody was going to get up here and get the Orichalcum. That's really why I came over here. Let's be honest, people. I was looking out for the team. I care a lot. Get up there, fatty. The healer, you can heal from the stairs. I think this healer was a little bit new. Maybe he just wasn't too familiar with that, but in an M3 level, you should know that you want to heal the tank from the stairs that's directly in front where you come down. You don't want to go all the way around as the healer. Yeah, you can stand up top and heal from the way down, but it's a lot faster. Most tanks are going to sword leap across with the shortcut. A lot of DPS are also going to take the shortcut, and so they need to have heals so they're not waiting on you to go all the way around. Now, the tank would also make sure he's in the middle here and toward the front, so the healer can actually get those heals down where he needs to have them. So we kind of help each other out. Man, this Orichalcum just takes forever. This is where I switch to the fire set for the first boss. Make sure you put back on your human ward pod and human coatings if you did take the lost ward pod and the lost coatings. I almost forgot here, but I remembered. But if you go down there, you'll be stuck in combat, so you got to put them in, you got to slot them, and then you can take them. I was like, oh crap, and they're not gonna wait on me. They're gonna go, because I'm not even gonna ask to wait on me, because I know better than that, so that's my fault. Gonna be a buster in here. Hold on, let me rub my weapons real quick. The Sacred kept getting put down in the wrong spot, so what we ended up doing, I told the tank, hey man, just rotate. DPS, get on the opposite side. Tank, just try to rotate to the Sacred every time if it's in the wrong spot. Wasn't really sure what's going on. Like I said, I think the healer's learning. He did a good enough job, and we adjusted. So if you have someone that might, let's say, throw Sacred down in the wrong spot, maybe the dude was tired or whatever, I'm not really sure what the circumstances. Instead of just complaining, can you adapt? Can you rotate? Can you compensate? So that's what you need to do as a team while the other person's trying to figure it out. We've all been there. So what I'm thinking right here is, okay, while the healer's dialing that in and getting it where it needs to be and the tank's rotating, these swipes hurt. And so whenever the ghost is about to swipe, I'm going to try to dodge out, or I'm going to hold block. Now right here, you should be in there DPS, and you can roll through the fire. Even with the greatsword, you can do it, but you got to be real careful because of the stamina issue with the greatsword. You don't want to run out of stamina thinking you have it and try to dodge through the fire and end up walking right into it. Knowing that things going to be moving around, you got to be careful and watch. Don't just jump in there trying to attack wildly. You know, look at what's going on. Constantly assess the situation. See, holding block right there. Usually 3 pokes in a roll. 3 pokes in a roll on that part. You shouldn't ever have, well, I say you shouldn't, but you want to kind of get to where you don't have a second wave like that. Now, what I'm talking about is the 2 lines going out doing the fire. You want to have one of those and then one of these, the quad. That means you have good DPS and you're getting through the cycle. If you have 2, the basically 2s, I'm not sure what that first phase would be called. First phase, how about that? Whew. Almost got clobbered there. Then your DPS is a little bit low, and ours is a little bit hesitant. I think one guy got knocked already, and then just kind of gauging where the tank's going to be and what's going on with the Sacred. We were a little bit slow on this one. This is where I thought the run was probably going to go to, you know, crap. Oh, I got scared right there. Make sure you change back to your ice gear after this, or if it's nature or whatever your mutation is as you're watching this video, then change back to that gear. By the way, choose and roll, what I did right there, obviously, I mean, I think it's a wasted, I mean, it's pointless for DPS to do it. The only 2 people that need to do it is the healer and tank. Everybody else, we know who you are. The healer and tank should always choose roles, because I can look at your name as we start. I have a memory that is just terrible. All right, so I'm not gonna remember, and I'm not gonna visually see, oh, that's a tank because his sword and shield and hammer or whatnot. Just, it's easier if I look over to the left and see the guy with the tank or the healing symbol is down. Make it simple. There's a lot of stuff I'm looking at on this screen. Okay, make it easy for the old man, man. Oh. Dudes are swinging haymakers. What I like here, if the tank can try to separate the mob from the healer got stuck in the back. We couldn't get to it. You want to take the mage out first and then the mob. But, you know, circumstances. Now, someone should be running Bio Bomb and helping everybody out, but no one seems to have it. Kind of neutralize the healer a little bit with that, or Plague Strikes on a great sword, but I'm not a big fan of that. I think you should have damage on the greatsword. Actually, if you're a greatsword DPS at the M3 level, you better have Serenity. I mean, because it's just the best. And if that's your main thing, you better grind for it, because it is so good. It's the best weapon in the game to me, but obviously the rapier and all that's probably still better. I guess I'm the only one that wants to take out the bishop. Also, I looked underneath the name. You can see if it has suppressor. So when we were walking up after they're killing the first mob, I always look to see if this one has suppressor. If it has suppressor, then you want to throw the gravity well before the tank gets there. That way, right when the tank gets up there, he can aggro and taunt, and you get the suppression away from where you're going to be doing your damage. Same thing on the mob that we're eventually going to go up and down to coming up. Look, they're going to have double suppressor up here. So not really much you can do, but I tried to get my gravity well off in time, but wasn't able to. Tank's pretty quick. Don't chance it, no point. Now 99% of the time you're gonna skip all these guys, so just see what the tank wants to do and follow suit. You need to be flexible, versatile. See right there, I'm trying to see under the name, it has suppressor and did double suppress, so it's gonna be interesting. Try to isolate this guy from the group, but they wanted to join the party. Guess they were jealous. Looking to see if anybody got the Orichalcum. They did not, so I'm gonna take the leap of faith. Jesus. Swear I'm like, don't die to the lava here and look like a total noob. And they made it to where you can walk straight across right there, so I mean, still jump, but you can walk across just fine. I'm gonna try to pull them out of the silence a little bit, which maybe isn't really necessary. It's just gonna go down again, but you know, whatever. DPS, take out the archer first. The other guy will follow. That was terrible. Don't do that. Bad spot right here. See ya. Good night, B. I couldn't really hear the tank's mic. It was very low. So I had no clue what he's saying. I'm going to go down here to show you. This is where you would go to get the dial activated. You got to go past that little gold line down there, which that other person's checking also to make sure. But you'll hear a click or a noise that will basically say you can come over here, set the dial, and get ready to step on the button. What you want to do is go back in the chat, see what the code was at the very beginning. And it was, you know, square XX. So get that preset to where you only have to turn one of the dials once. Someone step on the button, turn one of the dials, boom, that's it. Very simple. That way you don't have to worry about the ghosts. Now this guy, people do it different ways. How the speedrun crew that I used to run with, how we did it was everybody on the blunderbuss. Don't worry about the healer and all that. We got a good enough damage. I don't know what the tank said, so I was trying to gauge what we were supposed to be doing here. Wasn't really sure and ended up getting clapped. But right here, it looks like we were taking out the mobs first. But also, I don't think we had a hammer in the group, so our CC was terrible. Right there, I wish the tank would have switched to a hammer just for that one part. There's no need for a hatchet. Right there, I think the hammer, nah, maybe he did switch and I just didn't see it. But a hammer for CC with a refreshing move is huge. Me with the spear trying to, that was stupid for me trying to revive right there. I should have skewered and then just try to do some damage. Maybe the tank could have tried to pull him away with aggro. I'm not really sure. He's in a bad spot right here. You don't want him stuck in a corner where the DPS has to front face. So when you try to aggro him as a tank, you want to try to push him back toward the doorway of where you're eventually going to be go after you kill him. Because if he gets stuck with these rocks, it is just a nightmare. And I tried to reap him away, but it's very difficult to reap the guy away. Luckily, this guy had beast mode, and he just kept pouncing on him. Then I can get in my rotation, try to get my rolls and my cooldowns real quick. But I don't see anybody with a hammer, so... No, there was somebody with a hammer. Okay. Well, see. Old man not looking, bruh. Now, I should go back and edit that so I sound like I'm, you know, paying attention here, but I'm gonna leave it in because I know the tank's probably gonna watch this and be like, "Hey, Bebop, idiot, look, I got a hammer." Yes, yes, you did. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Some people like to kill these mobs, some don't. It's up to you. Up to the tank, really. He didn't want to, so we got down here, change your gear, make sure you got all your coatings on whatever weapons you're going to be using. I always like to recode up because I don't know if it's a visual glitch down there, but a lot of times when you switch gear, even if I coded the weapon earlier, it doesn't show up. I don't care. Stuff's cheap anyways. Just recode. I'm right here. I'm thinking I'm going to have to pay these people $5 grand each if we get gold. Oh, but I want it. I don't care, but I do care. But I'm thinking, okay, we got here one other time this week with a group that was really good. And then I think 2 DPS died in the first minute of this boss. So we had some hesitation and went downhill really quick. We ended up getting silver with like 43k points, something like that. I think we were 12 seconds past 40 minutes or something like that. So yeah, we didn't get it, but you know, that's cool because would have never met this group. And when you slam it down like that, be very careful if you're up on them trying to DPS. I'm full fire set, so I'm not worried too much about one lava thing. But if there's 2 or 3, yeah, I'm not going to stand in that because you're just asking to get melted. But be very careful when trying to DPS. up close melee. It is very difficult, this guy, because a lot of times we would run slash amulet to help protect, but when he does the slam downs like that, I think that's more like a thrust or a strike, and you can get one-shotted by that very easily. So let him do those 3, then get up on him. I try to keep a skewer on him, but you got to be very selective on when you actually use it. Couldn't see shit right there. Right here, boom, good time, right as he landed. I think I have the leeching ring on, and you can see the blood drinker or whatever it is. I was not doing much damage here. I mean, is it good enough? It's okay. It's gonna be a long fight, but go with the regular thrust damage, leeching, harding ring. Don't do the blood drinker. Especially if you got full fire set, you'll be fine. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Let him slam down. I'm not worried about the fire. Now, since they fixed to where the ball actually goes all the way to the end, where you drop down right there, a lot of tanks have moved to the platform over here to hold the boss. I still think the place where you come in is the best way, or the best spot to tank, but you know, whatever they choose, you just gotta adapt to. And the balls don't one-shot you anymore like they did when the dungeon first came out, so you can take a hit from them. You can also dodge it. By the time it drops, if you dodge correctly, you won't get hit. So just learn to try to time it. I give props to the SNS DPS guy right here with the hatchet. He's also up there with me at selective times. You notice how we are only behind him when he's not melee swinging. When the boss is swinging, man, it's best to step back. It's like Thor from the Depths Expedition. When he's swinging, good luck, because that backswing is so unpredictable. Like right there. I thought I was, how far back do I gotta get? I was even doing a heavy strike with the spear. Come on, bruh. I was so far back. So now I know I've been knocked once. He's half health. Okay, gonna have to play a little bit more cautious. And when you go to revive somebody, try to keep a side eye on the boss, because sometimes he will jump at you. This is a little bit scary because the tank's moving around with the hatchet, which is fine, but you just got to try to rotate with, you know. He's a tank that likes doing damage and is very active, so I don't have any problem with that. I love that, and that's what you want out of a tank. Now, it's going to be up to you as DPS to be a little bit more active, cautious, aware of where the tank's moving. But that's fine, because you don't want a tank that just taunts and sits behind the shield, because it's not adding any damage, and it's not going to hold aggro very much, especially if you're really hitting hard. Well, we don't got to worry about me hitting hard on this part, because damn, that damage weak. But, you know, it's consistent damage, you know, trying. It's honest work. with my great sword and bloody setup, I was definitely doing more damage. So, you know, the group needed a spear though, so that's what I did. I blame it on the group. I blame everybody else. Just kidding, of course. Oh, get knocked out, bruh. Oh, it's close. Jumps at me, bruh. Dodge. Oh, that guy got knocked out, bro. That's it. No more gold. Damn it. The very end, bro. Oh, we got gold. I was so happy right here in game. I was like, we did it. Oh man, this week was interesting. I swear, it's public lobbies, man. Randoms be randoming is my quote, man. Whew. We got it, baby. Look at my mouse flying around. I was so excited. Oh man, I was like, all right, everybody, line up and get your 5K over here. Hey, get your 5K over here. They were laughing. A man of my word. That was really cool. Glad I met this group, man. We had a lot of fun and it was challenging, especially that first boss area where it seemed like it was about to go to crap, and we managed to pull through. Only had 4 shrines. So it's time to pay up. Bebop pays up, okay? I needed to get this run. I know a lot of you out there, man, if you hosted a lobby trying to recruit people to run 4 Gem 3s and people linking you their gear and what they're running, a hammer with a void gauntlet, I mean, just like, what the? Bro, it's an M3. Not old school M3. Tank gets more, baby. 7K. Tank gets more. Respect for the tanks out there, baby. I've been saying it for a long time. They should have a way for tanks and healers to get paid more because of what they do. I still gave our healer 5K because, you know, you almost cost us on the first boss fight with that Sacred Ground mess. That's right, I know you're watching. But it's all good, man. I've been there too. Like, oh shit, I put it in the wrong spot. Oh shit, I did it again. Oh my god, now you're really freaking out, right? So, you gotta maintain composure. But anyways, Tank got 7K. It was cool as hell, and we ended up chatting for a while. And you know, he's Tank, so gets more. Now I was doing a fancy walk out here. Usually at the end, I'll throw the clip in at the end from another run because I love the ending on this, and I was too busy chatting and excited. Anyways, as you can tell, I'm still hyped up. After that, I got off, recorded some stuff, and editing the video. So I'm gonna throw up my gear. Actually, I'll do it in this video. I'll just go ahead and throw up my gear. Maybe I'll do it in this video. We'll see, because it's a long video. My gear and attribute setting, also the consumables I take, and stats, skill tree, all that jazz. So if you watch the whole video, let me know in the comments, say shiggity schwap, and I'll see y'all in the next video. If you got any requests, let me know, and I'll see y'all later. Shiggity giggity papa habba schwap.